Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. Very good morning to you wherever you are around the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, in Canada, Australia, or right there in Southeast Asia. Dear friends, you are highly welcome to this Wednesday morning special edition. It is your breakfast. In the next 8 to 10 minutes, I should be out from here. But quickly, transfer news. A lot is taking place. The window is about to be shut on Sunday. Yes, what is happening right now to Chelsea players that are going to be sold? We understand there are about 6 players or even 7 that are likely to leave the club. But what about the incomings? I'll update you on Mathys, Garnacho, and I'll also update you on who else? Jhon Duran. Chelsea, there is a good news coming up. Jhon Duran, yes. I will give you an update on Jhon Duran as well. So don't go anywhere. Stay to the end of this video because we are loaded. But quickly, like I said, it is your breakfast news. What is going on with Ben Chilwell? One of our senior-most players that have been sidelined. It is evidently clear Enzo Maresca, our new head coach, doesn't really like him. Yes, he is a fullback. He is a left fullback. He is a left fullback. Now, I'm sorry. As things are right now, it looks like Ben Chilwell is struggling to get a club. Ben Chilwell is struggling to get a club to play football, his football. And for me, I don't blame the player. A player like the caliber of Chilwell needs to be playing regularly in order to secure a move. He needs to be playing regularly. I'm sorry, I need some water. Thank you. He needs to be playing regularly in order to secure a move. But here is the case. For over 6-7 months, he's not been playing football, active football, though he's been training, being professional. He's been training a lot. Now, it's actually insane for me to think and to analyze Ben Chilwell's situation and just leave it down to the player alone. No. Ben Chilwell's situation right now is not down to him alone. Here we are with a Champions League winning fullback. This is a Champions League winning fullback who earns £200,000 per week. £200,000 per week, contracted till June 2027. Taking absolutely no part in our season. Yet he is on wages. £200,000 per week. In a month, that is £800,000. Ben Chilwell is receiving that right now as we speak. How can you justify this, sporting directors? You have a player, a Champions League winning player, earning £200,000 a week, sitting there idle, train every day, go home and eat and enjoy and have fun and receiving wages. And you expect a club to come for him. Listen, as we speak right now, Ben Chilwell still has £25 million salary remaining on his contract. Oh yes, his contract is to expire by the year 2025. So it means that he still has about £25 million salary remaining on his contract. The question I want to ask is, how much are they willing to sell him? And the club that want to buy him, would the club be willing to continue paying the £200,000 per week for Ben Chilwell? In the Premier League, how many teams pays their defenders or a defender, a left back, £200,000? How many? So, for you to understand how difficult it is for the player to make the move. And honestly speaking, if I were him, I'll sit there. I'll run down my contract and I'll receive my... if they like, the club can terminate my contract and pay me the £25 million. Then I'll look for a different club. But as it stands right now, I don't blame the player. He did not sign a contract alone. There were witnesses to it. But for the sake of his career. And at his age, for me, it's not even a big deal. It's not a big deal. At this age that he is 27, 26, 27, if my memory serves me right. It is what it is. That is our Ben Chilwell. Why Ben Chilwell is still not getting the club? Salary issue. Most probably. Clubs in the EPL might be willing, but how many of them can afford to pay him £200,000 per week? That is the question. Dear friends, now before we move on to some other issues, you see, we are in the transfer market. The window is widely open, and as a matter of fact, clubs are now even rushing. Things are beginning to get tougher and tougher for clubs. You want to sign, this is the time. If you want to sell, this is the time to let go. Negotiations ongoing. But you see, sometimes I do wonder whether some of our players, they actually care enough. Sometimes I wonder if our players, footballers or Chelsea players right now that we have in the club, whether they do care enough for this club. Because we the fans, we seem to care more than the players. Do they suffer like we do? Do the players suffer like we do? Or they are only there to receive their wages and salaries, so they are okay? Do they feel the pain of having mediocre season after season? Do they feel it? I saw Cole Palmer giggling after our 3-1 defeat to Man City. Giggling with the head coach of Man City. I saw Cole Palmer giggling with Pep Guardiola after our 3-1 defeat. After the game, I saw Cole Palmer like this with Pep Guardiola. Chatting. Does he think about the feeling of the fans? Jackson consoling an opposition defender. What's his name? The new defender, Kusanov. Yeah, Kusanov. After the game, Jackson, you could not win the game for us. I saw him consoling. The defender. Even this his own case. It's not even after the game. Whilst the game was still ongoing, Jackson was consoling the player, Man City defender, who was preventing you from scoring. After an incident, Jackson was consoling him. Madueke was more interested about Instagram posts after games to go and post because he scored 1 goal. Noni Madueke always interested in his Instagram posts because he scored 1 goal. And it's not a goal that you work out yourself and you score. A goal that normal people don't finish, you just tap in. Then you go to Instagram and then you post rubbish. Reece James, our own captain, after the game, talking to the press, making ridiculous statements that we are just 1 year old. The club, the players, the team, Man City are about 7 years old together. That's ridiculous from our captain. It is. Then, to even muddy the waters the more, from our own head coach, Maresca, talking nonsense that, what? About the goalkeeper and about the team in general. He was not given the contract to qualify us for Champions League this season. All of these individuals get paid so handsomely and live a lavish lifestyle for Christ's sake. Do they care about the mess we are in right now? It is a question I'm asking. Do any of them care that we are 1 win in 7, 1 win in 7? Do they care? Or is it just another day at work for them? Was it just another day at work for them? Oh yes, they reported. They played a game. But they lost. Yet, it doesn't matter. We move on. Is that it? Very disappointing. Nonetheless, let's move on to transfer news. Dear friends, well, my Nigerian brothers, here we go. Here we go. Victor Boniface. Victor Boniface, please charge. Victor Boniface. Yes. Here we go. Victor Boniface. Exclusive Al Nassr FC with immediate effect. Total agreement with Bayern 04 Leverkusen now has been reached. about a final transfer fee of more than 60 million euro. Verbal agreement was done. 15 million euro per net. 15 million net per season as revealed. Yes, Victor Boniface to Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia. 24-year-old striker has already passed his medical with Al Nassr. Exclusive news. My dear friend, Boniface is going for the money back. 15 million euro per season. Do you know how much that means? That is about 1.2 million plus per, a month. Yeah, that is about 1.2 plus 1.2 to 20, 1.2, let's just 1.2 million euro every month for Victor Boniface. My dear friend, 1.2 million plus, yeah, 1.2 million, or let's say 1.3, roughly, million euros every month for Victor Boniface with Al Nassr. Well, it's not that too much when it comparably compared to people who are earning £800,000 in the Premier League per a month. Yeah. But hey, knowing where Victor Boniface is coming from, a player that was ruled out 2 seasons ago, my only concern is he's still young, 24-year-old. But I understand the culture. I know where we are coming from. Where we come from, Africa, so much poverty. My cousins, my nephews, my niece, or whatever they call themselves, my uncles, my grandparents, there's so much poverty, we need the cash. And these days, football, you might get your leg broken tomorrow and your football career will be over. So he's going for it. Yeah, 50 million euro per season. Victor Boniface to Al Nassr. Here we go. Done deal. My friends in Nigeria, it is your striker. Nigeria is in the AFCON, right? Well, it is your striker. So that is the latest news on that front. Exclusive. Mathys has decided to leave Bayern Munich. Chelsea fans, Mathys has finally made his decision, according to Fabrizio Romano, to leave Bayern Munich. Now, Chelsea wasted 28 days on this deal. Throughout this month, we've been talking about Mathys, and nothing happened yet. It's not just Mathys' situations. We've wasted 28 days on various deals, from Renato Viega to Casadei. Right now as we speak, even Casadei deal, I'm told, is off with Torino. I will get to that soon. We wasted 28 days so far this month. But finally, Mathys, Chelsea fans, it's likely we are getting our man. Yes. And not just Mathys, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea and Aston Villa spent the whole of yesterday talking to each other on 3 players, namely Joao Felix, Jhon Duran, and Renato Viega. Is it Renato Viega? Disasi, sorry. Yes, Disasi. Chelsea and Aston Villa spent the whole of yesterday talking to each other on these 3 players. In fact, most importantly is Joao Felix. Disasi has already agreed personal terms with them. So with his issue, we understand that issue is almost a done deal. But the major issue right now is Joao Felix and Jhon Duran. Duran to Chelsea, Joao Felix to Aston Villa. Hopefully, by the close of this week, these deals. But my worry is that I would have preferred Christopher Nkunku leaving instead of Joao Felix. Christopher Nkunku's heart is no longer with Chelsea. And our coach doesn't know how to make use of him. I see Joao Felix being more, suited for Maresca than Christopher Nkunku. And Chris is like a backup striker, false 9. So if we are getting Jhon Duran, who can compete well with Nicolas Jackson up front there, then it's better we let go Christopher Nkunku. Right now, from my understanding, Chelsea do not want to let the two players go at the same time, Joao Felix and Christopher Nkunku. Now, Mathys, we understand he now wants to lead the club. So it's no longer Bayern Munich wanting Christopher Nkunku. No. If Chelsea are interested and are willing, as we understand, then it means that Joao Felix will be going to Aston Villa, Duran coming to Chelsea. Mathys' deal is separate with Bayern Munich. Chelsea and Aston Villa are negotiating a deal around Joao Felix and Duran. That is understanding as of last night. It's complicated, but a big week for both clubs and the right transfer for both parties. Chelsea are first to table with Duran. That's how it will remain. It will come down to an agreement on valuation, and there is plenty of time left to reach that. So in the final days of this transfer window, Jhon Duran likely to be in Chelsea. Yes, we've been pursuing Jhon Duran from last season. And like I said to you earlier on, dear friend, I'm about to run up. Chelsea do not see forward Christopher Nkunku leaving before next Monday's deadline. They value the France international at around £65 million. Bayern and Manchester United are keen, but nothing is close to happening right now. So it's very likely that Christopher Nkunku will remain in Chelsea, which I am happy about. But remember, Chelsea will have to persuade Mathys right now to land him, as other big English clubs are also interested. Equally, Frankfurt and Marseille are also interested in Mathys. Frankfurt in Germany and Marseille are also interested in Mathys. So whatever it is, Chelsea must really find a way of persuading him. But believe me, let me say this. I would have preferred Chelsea go in for Garnacho instead of Mathys. Yeah. Mathys play in a Bundesliga that is not as physical as the Premier League. Yet, Bayern are not making use of him. He's on a bench. He's now coming into the Premier League to adapt to the Premier League. And then we have Garnacho, who has already tasted the Premier League with Manchester United. And dear friend, let me just put it this way. I don't have enough time. I would have preferred Chelsea get in or get Garnacho instead of Mathys. That is my opinion. It is my opinion. Dear friend, another news to you before I let you finally. David Washington set to join Santos on loan, according to Jacob Burns. David Washington, yes, our 18-year-old striker who is part of the first team. He's part of the first team. He's set to join Santos on season loan. As it is right now, that deal is likely to go through from the understanding we are receiving. Yeah. Anyway, dear friends, I'll have to end it here. But remember, keep your ears on ground. Mathys to Chelsea. Mathys and Jhon Duran to Chelsea. Mathys and Jhon Duran to Chelsea. That is how it is right now. Dear friends, I'll see you guys all in the next one where you see me. Shalom and peace.